We're live.
No, we're live now.
Yes. Great.
So, people, welcome back to Cannon Fodder TV, the channel for Arsenal fans that you're all over the world, including Europe, Central South America, all over the world. That's what it is. But it's the first Easy Talk in a long while. I know a lot of people have been asking me, what's happened to the Easy Talk? Well, it's been taking a break. I deserve a break. But we've got a newbie. We've got one newbie. Yeah, and we've got two oldies and one very old oldie, and that's just me. But before we get into the hellos and maybe the goodbyes after an hour, let's just get into this on the other side of this music intro. Yes, people. So welcome back to the Cannon Fodder TV, but the latest Easy Talk in 8 weeks, 2 months. Oh my goodness, it feels like a marriage. 2 months. Anyway,
marriage. That's a quick one. Shotgun marriage.
John Geezer, how you been keeping, man?
Yeah, all good, mate. Never a better time to be a gooner, and I'm bigging up Havertz, man.
Yeah, got to support him.
Big up Carl Havertz.
Yeah. I'm not sure what Alfie's thinking right about now.
I don't know.
Lads, there's never been a better time to be a gooner. It's got to be the best time we've had at the Emirates.
You said that last year, John.
Huh?
You said that last year.
Yeah, that was last year.
Right.
This is this year. It's even better. Yeah, I said we'd win it last year, didn't I, Alex? We nearly made it, and I'm saying we're going to win it this year, mate. I'm confident.
There's positivity for you.
I'm confident, mate.
Yeah, Alfie, how you been keeping anyway?
Good.
Yeah.
I agree. It's a good time to be a gooner.
You've been saying that for the last 2 years.
But
it's always a good time to be a gooner, man.
Always.
We don't lose.
But I think it's more difficult this year. I have to be honest. I think the gap between us and the other teams, United, Chelsea, Tottenham, that one has closed a little bit. But still Man City the team to beat. That's what it is.
Yeah. Rob, the newbie, how are you, fella?
I'm very good, my friend. How are you?
Yeah, we're good. Always good to have new faces on the platform. And welcome aboard.
Me and Rob are all in yellow. Me and Rob tonight.
Ready for the next away.
And I can see Carl's watching. Can I just tell him this is the 89 top goal? 1 minute, mate. 1 minute.
All right, you know what? Let's get into the first topic. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is Thomas Partey. And we know Thomas Partey is going to be out for up to 6 weeks. He's got a non-contact injury, I think the groin or the thigh area. And after they said it's somewhere in between. I think in between what? His groin and his thigh? What's in between that? Oh, dear.
In between Darth Vader. Remember, Alex? He ain't there now.
But Rob, I'll go to you first. Are you going to miss Thomas Partey? Are you going to miss him?
Well, are we actually? No.
All right.
Is the question basically because this Thomas Partey filling in for Timber at the back? Again, I don't think a lot of fans believed in it. I think we need to think about Mr. Partey moving on. I think it's time. I mean, not that I'm a statistist by any means, so if I'm wrong, please forgive me. And you're welcome to correct me. Percent of games, aka he's missed, which is a lot. He's missed 2/3 That's 43 games he's missed now, and he's 30 years old in a very, very young team.
Yeah.
Give players at the moment. I know we're going to talk about Pepe later. We've got to think about, and maybe it's time to move him on. We've also got to, because he's also now competing with Mr. Rice and Timber when he comes back. He happy to be a backup? I don't know if he is. I'd like to, and I think he's took us from one step to the next. But Arsenal's top, and it's going up in steps to compete with Manchester City, and it has to change. So I can see him as a backup. Does he see himself as a backup? I don't know. Can we? And also, how much are we paying him? If we're paying him 200 grand, let's move him on and get somebody else in. So yeah, I love Partey's injury, his age. I think maybe it's time to think about getting him gone in the next.
Yeah. But you know what, Rob? You talk about the injuries of Thomas Partey. I did a little bit of homework. I wasn't renowned for doing homework at school, but I did some today. So this is his injury record, Rob. Over the course of, let's say, from 2015 to the current, and I think when it was at the Atletico Madrid, he missed a total of 35 days. But since he joined for Arsenal, I mean, his career has been stop-start, hasn't it?
Yeah. I think that's what makes it so disappointing, because before he joined, in regards to injuries, but now it's and we need consistency. To compete against Manchester City, a bit brutal and a bit ruthless. So yeah, injuries pre-Arsenal were fantastic. He had a fantastic rate.
Yeah.
And that he got us some goals last year. He's had five goals in his Arsenal career. He played 4 games. He's already got one. So yeah, I think he was worth it for 45 million to take us to the next step. But yeah. I don't want to lose money. That's a big thing.
Would you sell him in January?
If Timber's going to be back, because I think if Timber's, if Timber goes right back, you've got Declan Rice is going to be a first choice. He's going to be a second, but then Ben White in there, then Timber's going to be a backup for, you know what I mean? So it's real, and I think a lot of the fans are going to be saying, well, given the first 4 games, if he's going to play a game, go now.
Yeah.
I think we want that stability. Win has been used a lot by Mikel Arteta. And just let me add, I think he's got us to a great place, so we need to trust and we need to believe in what he's doing. Best right back. I'll trust it, but at the moment, I think a lot of us just aren't.
Yeah. Alfie, have you ever missed a party?
I don't know. That's a difficult question. But I have to say that I like the situation, not because he's injured, but is going to make us more attacking. So we have to play with Declan in the back and then the 2, let's say, creative midfielders. And 2, we will see if that money was worth, because 100 million is a lot for one person. So if he can hold it, how he has shown that that he's able to, to dominate that defensive midfielder role, then yes, we won't miss Partey, even though it's good to have that backup, because that particular position, we've been struggling with that one for a long time. We try to cover with different people. I think Partey is good enough. I hated Shaka. Everyone knows that. But I still And he's playing good now. That's the funny thing. But anyway, but I feel that yeah, it just gives us more an attacking option, and I really want to see Declan, and then Odegaard, and maybe Vieira or Smith Rowe ideally, because I'm not gonna go into the Havertz conversation yet. I'm gonna give him time, but I don't think it's good. uh, it's just a waste of money. So I think no, Partey is good. Sadly he has been injured. But for example, Timber, now that we were talking about injuries, he has never been injured before.
Yeah.
First Arsenal match, ACL. So it's just unlucky.
Yeah.
Unlucky.
Yeah.
But I like Partey. I think he's one of those players that is quiet on the pitch, but he does his job properly. He's not like super mistake prone, but he's not also like, he's gonna win your game. He's kind of those players that is just good at what he does, and that's it.
Do you know what? Someone said this week that when they look at Thomas Partey, he's the past now of Arsenal, and it seems like it is time. It's time to move on because now we've got Declan Rice, but where we're playing Thomas Partey, right back.
Yeah,
Anyway.
definitely. The thing is, like, if he was not injured, then we could play 4-2-1 with
Yeah.
Odegaard up front. And that's something that we have done before, because we used to do Shaka, Partey, and then Odegaard. So I like that, planning. If it's a difficult game, if we have to, track back a little bit, and maybe we're winning 1-0. So I do feel that it's important to have that particular player in that position. But I don't know if Partey is the solution. Maybe we should look for something else. But we definitely need a player, just in case something happens to Declan, because you need to have it in your possibilities as well. Declan out for 3 weeks, and then you have no one to cover.
Yeah. I mean, does anyone know what Declan Rice's injury history has been like? I haven't.
No idea.
Gino, we've got to throw his name in there as well, because he's
Yeah.
another backup.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tricky one. Oh,
Yeah. Geezer, for you, I know you've never missed a party.
Alex, you know I love Partey. I think he's an excellent player but he's never does a.
Oh no. Oh.
More time off than I've had in my life at work. If any of us had that amount of time off, we'd be down the road. I think he's got to take a back seat now. He's got to be like a squad player at best, because he just can never last a season.
But I think he knows. I think he knows.
He's not even started the beginning of the season. So something ain't quite right. I feel that there's something not quite right with the Arsenal training or the physios or something, because we seem to suffer more than any other club with these injuries. It's so frustrating, Poor old Timber, out for half a season already. He's not even got started. But last season we were chugging along nicely. Now Partey seemed to run out of steam in that last 6 or 7 games when we really needed him. At the end of the season, when it mattered, he seemed to run out of steam to me, Alex. I don't know what happened. A couple of games he didn't turn up. So Percy, I think now he's got to be a sub and a reserve, not a reserve, like the B team player for the backup games. And like you say, 30, how long's he got left? I didn't think he would be here this season. What I was reading in the news and all that, I thought he was going off to Saudi Arabia or something like that.
Yeah.
But, it makes you wonder why maybe no one picked him up. But I do, on his day, one of the best players, if not the best on his day. He's an excellent player, but yeah, he's not a first 11 player for me now, Alex. Sadly.
Yeah, but Alfie says that he reckons that he knows it. Does he? Does he know that he's not a first teamer?
I think so. I think he knows that his role is just to play where when he's needed. Because also something that we have to take into account is that we're back in the Champions League. We're gonna have an extra competition, and sometimes it's the numbers game. And we need, yeah, Declan is good, but we need him to rest as well and to be prepared for those tough games. And we have to do a rotation, because if not, it won't work. We won't win the league, and definitely won't do well enough in the Champions League. So
Yeah. But Rob, it's not down to the manager to know how to rotate the players, because you look at Man City, those players don't play more than maybe 20, 22, 23 games in the Premier League. But yeah, we're flogging our players in the Premier League.
I think that Pep's managed to do at Man City is you rely, they've got, you know what I mean, and wait their turn for their rotation, whereas there's a lot of stars, their opportunities. Now, can we keep our, because I do class Partey as a City player and has been great for us, but can we keep him on the bench and keep him happy? Arteta will manage the rotating the players. He'll see how they're doing in training and keep all that. But I think like John touched on, got a couple of jobs. You've got to show up for him, and he's only shown up for 2 out of 3. So bearing in mind how close it was last year with City, proved to be able to beat them, and something to consider that City started strong, started poor, and they've got stronger. They've started strong, so we had the pressure. Do we want a player in the team that's only going to show up 2/3 of the time in game?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, I want a young, hungry Declan Rice who granted games for us, but you saw it in his face. He wants to be an Arsenal. We saw him at the Nottingham Forest game singing North London Forever. He's becoming more games. Yeah, if I was a West Ham fan, I'd be gutted. If not for the fact that they've had the money from Declan Rice, you know what I mean. But I'd be annoyed because you'd have thought he'd come through Hale End, the way he's acting and the way he's being around the club. I'm talking about him now. I'm not talking about the parties in the background. So yeah, we want him because we have to rotate. Can't do it every game, but we've also got Jorginho. We've also got to Timber at some point. So yeah, but ultimately first, and he's not showing up enough. Not for me, not for a top team who I can say, yeah, I don't mind you being injured, because when you come back, you're a star. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Do you know what, Rob? You know what's just come to mind? Because we know when Arsene Wenger was the manager, once the players hit the age of 30, he would only offer them like a 1-year extension. I wonder if Arsene Wenger what would have Arsene Wenger have done with Thomas Partey?
I'm also thinking money. I mean, I don't want to go into it too soon, but we've £1 million. So on one of our next signings, who, let's face it, within 2 years, they must be thinking about that, just purely because of how much are we going to get back? I mean, I think we paid 45 million for him realistically, either this year or in 2 years. And as a board member, you know, because with that money can bring in other new people.
Yeah, good point. Well, you know what? A bit of a segue, actually. We'll probably talk about Rob Holding has now left the building. I'm never going to forget that image of him just having Diego Costa in his pocket for the FA Cup final. And Nico Pepe has also left the Emirates. John, what are your thoughts about those players leaving or actually being sold?
Rob Holding and who?
And Nicolas Pepe.
Well, Pepe, I think that was on the cards, to be quite honest. You know, I think he was kind of hard done by from the day we bought him. He was well overpriced. It was a dodgy deal, backhanders all around. That geezer that bought him left the Emirates, didn't he? You know, bit of an hurry. He was well overpriced, 72 mil. I think someone had a nice little earner out of that, Harry.
It wasn't me.
And he was sort of caught up in that. He was never Unai Emery's player. He was never Mikel Arteta's player. I think the season before last, he was banging in a few goals, man. He got about 15 goals, didn't he, or something? He weren't doing too bad. But, yeah, I don't know. He's just never fitted in that team, really. They could have kept him as a B team player, couldn't they? You know, why not? He has got something about him. It's just I don't know what. I don't know if you see it. I see a picture of him today on Twitter, and he had the Turkish side's top on.
Yeah,
he looked more up for it with them than he'd ever looked up for it for Arsenal in that kit. I was like, why didn't you have that passion? But he was kind of a fool guy, really. I do feel a bit sorry for him. Do you know what I mean? And I wish him well in Turkey. But yeah, he had to go. Rob Holding, I think they could have kept him. You know, he could have been a B team man. He's only 27. He's a great pro. As you say, he had Costa in his pocket, and I see him against Man City in the FA Cup. He had Ireland in his pocket for half a game before they took him off. But another fool guy. I don't know if Arsenal fall for whatever the media and the fans say. But some of these players seem done and dusted before they've even allowed to have a run in the side. You know what I mean? Did Rob Holding get a fair run in the side? Not really. Did Pepe? Suppose he did a bit, but yeah, they're gone now. We will be better for it. Rob Holding, though, I just think he was fans and people got onto his back for no reason. If you ask me, I didn't see him doing anything wrong. That Tottenham game, yeah, I will say he made a bad mistake then. But any player, you know, you can't crucify one player just because of that.
Exactly.
That seems to be a thing, Alex, a running theme on social media. Let's get on a certain Arsenal player's back. At the moment, it's Havertz.
Yeah.
It'll be someone else, you know, in a couple of weeks' time. Drop Havertz, put so-and-so in the team. We have a bad run again. They'll be on to someone else. They was on to beginning of the season. They was on about Ramsey, weren't they? Do you know what I mean? Get Ramsey out. I think he's had an excellent season so far. Put this Raya in. I still say it. Ramsdale should always be our number one keeper. Raya is a great backup, you know. He's a lot older. It makes sense that Ramsdale is going to be our number one. But we do have these players that we've got to crucify for some reason. But yeah, who else went? There was more than that went, wasn't there? Rob Holding, Pepe.
Nuno Tavares has gone on loan, hasn't he?
See, this is another thing. Nuno Tavares, Sammy Lokonga. Why did we buy him? Do you know what I mean? They're wasting them players' times. Let them go somewhere else and develop their careers, you know.
Yeah.
That Nunes, that Lokonga, they're not going to come back and ever play for Arsenal. No way. Arteta's made his mind up. That's just like a business thing. They're recouping money from somewhere along the line, but they're just not. And that old Sammy Lokonga, I don't think he got much of a chance. Give him a couple of games, crucify him, see you later, mate. You know, they're young players. They need a lot of love. That Havertz scored in the Champions League final. Chelsea have crucified him in the last 2 years, like they crucified a lot of their players since Abramovich went. And, you know, he needs a bit of love, a bit of time. You can't just fit in. He's adjusting the squad, isn't he, old... what's his name? Arteta. I don't know what he's tinkering about with. I couldn't tell you, but I know he's adjusting it all round. It takes time. If Arsenal were drew or lost that game against Man United, the fans would have just turned so much against him. You know what I mean? And he stuck with what he believed in, Arteta. So I'm going to give him his due to that, because I couldn't see what he was doing, Alex. This new style of football. I'll be honest with you, inverted, whatever. It's all a bit above my head. I'll just watch the game and see how it goes. But yeah, there's some players that just get crucified, in my opinion, for no reason.
Yeah, Alfie, your thoughts on Nicolas Pepe? And I actually kind of agree with John. Surely we could have kept him for some kind of competition for Bukayo Saka, Alfie.
But we got Nelson though. That's the issue.
He can't
And
stay free.
you cannot keep both. You cannot keep Pepe and Nelson. It's impossible. I agree with John. It's unlucky the circumstances that he came. It's unlucky that he was like the most expensive signing that we had for years. He's not a bad player, but I never really saw what people think that he could do. So that spark, I never saw it. He had flashes kind of, but yes, no, never the player that we wanted. I think we all agree that we wanted Wilfred Zaha,
Yeah.
and that was the move. And we didn't support the manager at the time, and that cost us. And now I don't know how much the Turkish team pay for him, but I'm sure that it was.
Well, he went on a free, didn't he? Did he not leave on a free?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a possibility. So yeah, we just bin 72 million there. And it's just silly. It's our biggest transfer in history before Declan, and just everything when he didn't do anything for Arsenal. Nothing at all, nothing. And as much as he's a nice guy and everything, but it's just not good business at all. Now, with Holding, you have to go with me on this.
All right.
I think we lost the league because of the injury of Saliba. But I don't think we lost the league because of Rob Holding. I think he was a decent cover. Yes, he made mistakes, but obviously if he hasn't played in a long time with his teammates, then is not at the level that we were expecting, of course. I think, yes, if we had another defender that had a little bit of an extra quality, we could have won it. But yeah, I mean, I really like Holding, and some people say, oh yeah, he's a bench warmer, just getting the money. And yes, but you kind of need those players as well. So yeah, that's what it is. I think it's good that he moved on, but yeah, we need a backup still for the center backs.
Yeah. Rob, for you, surely we could have kept Nico Pepe as some kind of backup or competition for Bukayo Saka, because he's played 85 consecutive games for the Arsenal.
So I think I love all Arsenal players. I have got love for both of these guys I'm about to talk about. But one's going to come across more positive. I'll let you decide which is coming across. I mean, 72 million and went for 0. Another one was bought. We kept him for 7 years, and we sold him for 1 million. And what's a bad signing? I mean, Pepe, 27 goals is not enough. £1 million. You had time. He only ever performed in the lower games. He had some great goals, but they were UEFA Europa League, so never really showed up in the big games. He went off to on loan, shown there. To me, I think he was an had a couple of really good spells rather than a really, really good player that's on form, if you know what I mean. I don't know. I think maybe is it his name on the back of the shirt? Maybe that's why he's worth 72 million. But for me, it for Arsenal. Whereas Rob Holding, although with him going again, we've got to talk about the ages. I think that's really, really important for Arteta. I mean, 28 years old, 27 for Holding. And again, while I mentioned Partey before, I mean, I think when they get older, he wants them out early, absorb his information. I think Holding an absolute amazing player. He knows them values that Wenger would have installed, even though you watch him on All or Nothing, and he may not be a person behind. You've heard the stories of him grabbing the cups and saying, "Come on, have a picture with the trophy. Come on, don't be shy." You know, the newcomers around the young ones. He's a player that I want to keep for that role as a mentor, as a big brother. But at his age, to go and be a star at Crystal Palace. Let's face it, he's not once a gunner, always a gunner, but he wasn't brought in. So I'm kind of happy to see him go and hopefully get some more minutes there. I can't see him making the team, really. You know,
but Rob, surely,
I'll be honest.
But Rob, surely, because we're back in the Champions League, Premier League, FA Cup, League Cup, we still need that size of a squad, and we can only play 11 players. And I think Rob Holding would not have complained, and he would have waited for the manager to call him. Whereas you see other players throwing their toys out of the pram, thinking, "Oh, why am I not starting? I should be starting." But Rob Holding would never do that. But we still need the size because we're in another competition now this season. So surely we could have kept him. Like you say, nowhere quality-wise close to William Saliba, but an ultimate professional who would never complain.
And I agree. I want to kept him for 1 million. I mean, come on, we're Arsenal. Are we bothered about $1 million?
Yeah.
That massive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's happy to have that backstage role, and like I say, I think he's an amazing addition to the team. I still now I can go in Emile Smith Rowe after the Tottenham game. You know, he was like the heart. He's a big player in the dressing room, and you need them big players. So I don't think Crystal Palace have got a bargain. But from Rob Holding's point of view, to play Premiership minutes. So I don't hold him for going. If anything, I'm like, I blame Arsenal. You shouldn't have let him go.
Yeah.
Again, going back to the money. I mean, 2 million, 7 years later, we'll get one. Bear in mind, we've just lost. You know what I mean? So much that's you know.
Dear. You know what? Let's take a quick break and we'll go into the live chat. I can see there's 20 odd people watching this now, or the number's been fluctuating up and down. You are watching the latest, actually the return of the Easy Talk. It's been 8 weeks, a marriage for most people. Let's go to the live chat. So we've got our key or chief moderator, Ashley D says, "Hey up, Gooners. Welcome to the Friday nights Easy Talk with Alex and the Crazy Gang." Okay, and then we've got Carl, who's our resident Liverpool subscriber, 89. Anyway.
1 minute, Carl.
And we've got DWTT, aka Gary, who's all the way just around the corner in the States. Hey, Alex, panel and the chat room. Also here we've got Emerson, who also says, "Good evening, Alex and the panel." Anthony Roberts, a long time. We've not seen you for a while in the live chat. Evening, blessings to you all. What else do we have here? Let's have a look. Carl says, "John, looks like an older version of Peter Schmeichel.
Yes, Carl, mate. I'll take that as a compliment.
Peter Schmeichel never was.
Ashley says that we won't miss Partey in his new position. Absolutely not. Alan Rawlinson says Rob is a closet. Rob, what's going on?
So I've got to give a shout out Mike and Matty. Being a northern lad, I've given some abuse, having a lot of banter in work. So I think some people are getting payback. But yeah, a shout out to them because there has been a lot.
Yeah, nice one. And then there's the enforcer who was on last week. Good evening, Des. Hope you keeping well. Says, hi, Alex and the panel. We should sell Thomas Partey. Missed 60% of games since we brought him, Alfie. 60%.
Snack him.
Yeah, but I was thinking that, and I was laughing and thinking about it. It's because we still have Mohamed Al Neni. So yeah, tell him.
Leave him alone.
I don't know where he is. I don't know what is he doing.
Well, listen, we've got Jesus, Mohammed, and if we buy that keeper for the women, we'll have Jesus, Mohammed, and Mary.
Yeah.
We can't go wrong.
Yes, and we will see if we win it like that. But yeah, I was gonna say very quickly about the other competitions. I think we left very quickly last year, like the FA Cup and the other ones, very quickly. So yeah, hopefully, yeah, we do need the numbers now. So hopefully we will do better this year because we're focused on the Premier League, but now I don't think that's an excuse anymore.
The Caribou Cup's just a kickabout. They ain't interested in that. I'm telling you that now. That's just a kickabout for the lads.
Rob, here's a question for you, Rob. So Liverpool come in with bucket loads of money in brown paper bags, and they want to buy Bukayo Saka for under £50 million. Are you selling?
No.
All right, okay.
Good answer.
Oh. No. You know, I saw a video go around, you know, the PFA player man. I don't know if it was AFTV or someone. It was one of the YouTube fan things. Went around to fans asking, you win the league this year, but Saka leaves, or you don't win the league and Saka stays. What would you rather have? And they showed every single one of them said, I don't want the league, keep Saka. And I stand with it. He's Arsenal. He's our lad. I don't care. Come in with 500 million. I'm not interested. He's ours. Same with Smith Rowe. He's ours. Don't get rid of him. We need to keep. Even a question. Right. Sorry. Next.
Now ask me about the Champions League, and I think about it.
A couple of seasons ago, I was worried that Saka might go to Liverpool. Klopp was
likewise. Yeah,
you know what I mean? I thought he was gonna go, but I think he's loyal, man. But you just never know in football. You start throwing money at players, silly money, and off they go.
Yeah. Especially Silent Stan is just there for the money, isn't he? Listen, actually, guys, before we continue the live chat, we did do a poll on the platform yesterday, and the question was, what do you think is the most important? Win the FA Cup, win the Premier League, or win the Champions League? So we've had 775 votes. There's been 7 comments and 39 thumbs up or likes. And 2% of the votes went for win the FA Cup. There's nothing wrong with that. 44% went to win the Champions League. I'm surprised at that, actually. And 54% voted outrightly to win the Premier League as the most important thing, Rob. Do you agree with that?
Bearing in mind that I've got some friends, in the chat that Man City and Liverpool fans. The one thing I get in my face, you've never won anything in Europe. And granted, years ago, before names changed there, but yeah, I mean, let's face it, West Ham are more successful than us in Europe. So I want the Champions League, but also being real. realistic. We were so close to the Premier League. That's got to be our aim this year, hasn't it? You know, we definitely go for. Yeah. So, I think it's I think a lot of people they want the Premier League this year, and we can't see again. Yeah. Somebody has to come off. They have to, because if it keeps going.
John, for you, what do you think is the most important that we win this season? The Premier League, Champions League, or FA Cup?
It's got to be the Audi Cup, and what Tottenham
the Audi Cup.
Or the Corrivo. Nah, actually, Alex, I've been thinking about this one, and what I think Arteta is prioritising the Premier League, but I've had another little rethink myself, and the Champions League might actually be more realistic. There's not so many games, you know what I mean? It's when it goes to the knockout stages, you just don't know how many. If we get into the quarterfinals, the Champions League might become a priority. If say certain teams like City do go out of it, I think they're getting a bye. I don't know how far they go with that bye, but it's a numbers game, Alex. How many games you got to win the Premier League? How many games you got to win the Champions League? I think you've got to weigh it up. And I'm not sure if the Champions League you get more money than the Premier League, but either one would do me. Do you know what I mean? Even the FA Cup, but the Champions League or Premier League, I'd be happy for one. And if I was a manager, I'd start thinking maybe the Champions League we should qualify, right? Let's get this straight. We should qualify out of that group. Who we get next, how it works, I ain't too sure of this knockout stages. It's strange, isn't it? So, you know, the semi-finals is two-legged. The finals, one-legged. I think we've got a good enough squad to beat any team that's in that Champions League on the day. Do you know what I mean? Teams get injured, whatnot. You don't know how it's going to carry on. So, from that point of view, the amount of games that you play, the Champions League might be easier. But I'd say Arteta has probably got his heart set on the Premier League. He wants to beat his mate Pepe to it, doesn't he? But, it's going to be tough. It's not as easy as, like I said, last season was a fantastic opportunity. We was out in front, you know. We had a really good chance of winning it.
But no one expected us to be out in front.
We didn't, no. And we had that little break with the World Cup thing, didn't we? So it gives us a bit of a rest with injuries and stuff. We done the same old thing. We didn't really improve. We did improve, but to me, we should have bought a striker again. We should have bought a striker in that January sales. We didn't for some reason. And anyway, it all panned out, all went up in the air, didn't it? Do you know what I mean? But we won't get an opportunity like that this season. It's going to be a dogfight. Do you know what I mean? And there could be a couple of teams fighting with us. So we've got to. I think Man City will keep the consistency. Whether Arsenal can do it, I don't know. Hopefully now they're going to kick on from the Man United. They've got a team that can do it. Arteta's got a team in his midst that can win that Premier League if they stay consistent. But Man City have got to be the favourites 100%. So that's what I'm saying, Alex. To me, I'm rethinking that Champions League might be an easier competition to win than the Premier League because they ain't going to do a double. Do you know what I mean? They ain't going to do no double. So it's one or the other. And come December, let's wait and see. And he might have to reevaluate what he's going for.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. They should go for them all, but they never do.
Yeah. Alfie, do you want to say anything before we go on to the last topic?
Yeah, I think I understand why people wants to win the league. We had it in 2016 and Leicester ended up winning it. I think we had a clear advantage in January and you know what people say, bottle it. I don't like it, the term, but I do think that we had it in our hands to win it. Last year, I think it was a little bit more difficult. I think that Man City team is so superior that you have to be at that level. You have to be always like almost perfect. If you draw a game, then you're in disadvantage automatically. So I can see why people want to win the Premier League. And the Champions League at the moment, I don't see a team that is dominating for sure. I can see that Milan team didn't deserve to be in the final, you know, that Inter team, sorry. Because is luck. Is just see what you get, what can you know, who can you beat, who has the injuries, who has a bad day, etc., etc. But I don't think the Champions League in this moment is that difficult to win. It's not the competition that used to be a couple of years where, you know, Bayern Munich dominated, Real Madrid dominated, Barcelona was untouchable. I think all of those teams are showing weaknesses at the moment, and Real Madrid won that Champions League by luck. Like they won it in the last minutes of every game. I think 2 years ago. So I think we can make it, of course, but we have to take it, you know, game by game. But if you ask me personally, I think if we win the league, we will get like a massive confidence boost, and we can go for the Champions League maybe next year or the year after. It will give more stability in the team, I would say.
Yeah, here. Well, you know what? Let's go on to the last topic. The last topic is
Sorry, Alex. Just
yeah.
a quick add on. 20 years this year since amazing season. I'm not going to say because you all call me a typical Arsenal fan for bringing it up. Years. So I think that's another reason why the Premier League. And just in response, I think difficult. Not necessarily because the other team looking bad. I think we've stepped up because as difficult. I mean, we could quite easily have won the hardest league in the world last. No, we're not scared, are we? Sorry, mate. Yeah, moving on. I just wanted to reply to
No, it's all right. It's okay. It's all right. Actually, just read a couple more comments in the live chat. There's one from the Assembled who says, the key to everything is how Arteta handles the pressure and the tactics he uses. The players will cope if he copes, Rob.
Do we think it was Arteta that, you know what I mean? I don't think it was. I think he held his nerve. I think our team haven't had the experience. We keep saying it, they're young. City have been doing it a long time now, haven't they?
Yeah.
I think Arteta can hold it, and he's proven it. He's quite a stubborn guy. I mean, look at a bank. You annoy me, you're gone. I don't care. Same with other players that we've talked about. If he doesn't like you, you're not in there. Again, with his formations, he knows what he's doing. He's got his ideas, and because you know we talk about bottling it and what we haven't won. Yeah, we won belief. You know, I grew up with Arsenal winning. You know, they were always winning. They were a top team. The last 20 years, it's been difficult at times. You know what I mean? We've not been able.
At times.
Yeah. Oh yeah. More.
All right, Alfie.
That's what I mean. You got to appreciate these last 2 or 3 seasons what Arteta's done. You know, and
yeah, the improvement is massive for sure.
I wasn't his #1 fan. I think he's proven himself, and he deserves respect now. You know, I think he does handle the pressure, and there's a lot of pressure on his head. You know, all the grief he's getting over that Havertz, he could have bottled it, couldn't he? Not stuck. He's had to stuck and dive, swap his formation because of injuries already. But I've always said he ain't had a plan B, but he's kind of proved that wrong now, proved that theory wrong. So I think he does hold his bottle well, the pressure. he's played in the Premier League himself for years. You know what I mean? In the European and everything, so he can handle the pressure.
Yeah, but with that being said, he needs to stop because sometimes he gets a bit smug, you know? Like you have Gabriel and it's like the best defender that we have, and you're playing 3 at the back? Unnecessary. Just put the 4 that has been working, yeah? That's silly. That's just him trying to emulate Pep so much.
Well, he's had to now, and he's had to go back to the backfield because you know, injury, so that might have helped us out.
What Pep's
Rob,
doing?
Go on, Rob.
What Pep's doing, does that not work? Is it not wrong to try to, you know?
Well, it works if you have the money and the players, but if you don't,
yeah. I don't know. And my brother says, all Arsenal need to do is to think and play like they did during last season. 12 straight wins, then we'll become Champions League winners. So it's as easy as that, is it?
That's all it is, isn't it?
That's what it is. Simple.
Might as well just go home. Right. So from a week from tomorrow, we'll be back in the Premier League against Everton. And remember, this serves me well. Last season, we got beaten by Sean Dyche. Alfie.
The last 3 seasons. Good to
yeah. I think it's like a personal thing now. Yeah, like he loves it. He really want to make a result out of us. But that's when we have to show personality and passion and say, hey, we're better than this. We've proved people wrong before. Ivan Tony, what's his name? The guy that was from Watford.
Cojones.
Yes, there you go. So yes, I do like when people are a little bit like that because it gives that extra fire, that extra we have to prove a point. And hopefully we will prove a point against Sean Dyche.
They ain't got a Wobie no more either, so that should be easier.
Yeah, he's going to pull him. Rob, thoughts? Arsenal, Everton, a week from tomorrow.
I think it's a massive. It's a huge game. Everton fans are saying, but let me get to the end because I'm on your side in a way. We've lost the last 3 away to them, and we've got tough games coming up. Brentford, Bournemouth, Tottenham, Lens, Man City, Chelsea, Sevilla. We're going to have pressure in the cup games, pressure in the Champions League because we've not been there. We've got City. I mean, we need to start this run with a win. It's tough to go to Goodison. It's one of them old grounds where, but they're in around you. And they're fighting. They're already fighting. They're a suffering team, and because I think Everton should be a Premiership team. I want to see them in the Premiership. I don't want to see them go. But I mean, I did a little looking into it, being they're not too far from where I am. They made £45 million in players. They spent 3 million. Some players go on freeze just to get rid of the wages down. Sometimes it's saying it's all down to management. I think they're going through an Arsenal phase, personally. There's only a few teams that have gone out there and built. And, Tottenham, we did it first, and Tottenham did it. It's horrible ground, let's face it. And now, let's face it, Everton aren't the clubs that Arsenal and Tottenham are in terms of financial. Always been up there. Tottenham have got Levy, and Everton are a table club at best. And I'm not saying that to be horrible, but they're not top of the top table, top of the top half.
Well, they was until that Uzmovic got put under house arrest there. he could have been our manager, our owner, couldn't he, Usmovic? And then he went to Everton, and the old Russian thing started off. And
yeah, but he spent a lot of money
he
before
got nicked, and that
yeah.
took all their money away. So
when we moved to the Emirates, we didn't spend for a long time. We had to manage with what we had. Let's face it, he is a better manager than Daesh, and he had better manage. He also had more money to buy players in. So I think Everton are in a really, really bad place as a club, which I don't say. Knowing that form, this should be a walk in the park for us, which is why
don't say it, Rob. Don't say it.
Should be. It should
don't
be.
say it.
It should be. Yes.
That's why it is a pressure game, because I don't think that Everton away games going, oh, this is a must win. You know what I mean? But I think looking at I think we need it. We do need it this weekend. Next weekend, sorry.
Yeah. Well said, Rob. Alfie, did you want to talk about Arsenal, Everton?
Yeah, no, I agree. It should be easy, and because that's the kind of team that we need to be. We need to be the team. Yes, that should be easy. We need to get it done. Let's not get complicated with small teams, even if it's away. And that's what we have to demand, because we are, second runner-ups from last year, and that's the standard that we want to maintain. Because we're better than Man United, we're better than Liverpool at the moment, we're better than Chelsea, we're better than Tottenham. So yes, we should go into that game and win it easily.
Well said. John Geezer.
Well, Arsenal have got to be brimming with confidence like that 3-1 win against Man United. Do you know what I mean? Everton, to me, they're in terrible trouble this season. I think that Sean Dyche is just holding the fort. I don't know what he's meant to do there. He's got no money, no players coming in. They look in a dire situation, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're in like the relegation battle come December. But yeah, we should be walking over teams like Everton, to be quite honest with you. But it never does happen like that, does it? Is there a mental block against Everton? Do you know what I mean? That Deutsch, she does get stuck in against us, then he will get his teams to bullet about. But we've got the quality to walk all over that team, and if we don't, we're not really a serious Premiership title team, are we? Really, just go there, do a professional job. We should win comfortably by 2 goals at least. I think, Alex. But can I just say something, Alex? I did see on Twitter today they built that new stadium at Everton. It looks fantastic, and that poor young kid, I'm a construction worker. He died working on it, didn't he? He's buried today, and they did a big funeral and everything for him. And all the construction, if you look on Twitter, all the construction machinery, they all pointed in one direction, all the cranes and that, out of respect for that young kid. And he was out earning a living. He's not a direct footballer, but he's part of football. He was an Everton fan himself, and he's working on the construction of that new stadium. I just like to say R.A.P. to the poor young kid. You know what I mean? And he's bad.
Well said, John. Well said.
Thoughts with the family.
Yeah, let's go into live chat for the last time anyway, Lisa. And Alan says Arsenal might be just missing a top experienced goal scorer. This is what I was going to ask you, Rob. Do you not think in the transfer window we should have bought a striker who can guarantee you minimum 20 goals? No? But where are they?
Yeah, there's none.
Yeah.
So,
Tony,
but this is going to bring us on to a topic that I know some people aren't going to like. When Havertz gets up and running, he's going to be providing them goals.
No way.
Hear me out. To bringing goals in, that's what Arteta had in mind. One things that I'm going to say quick about Havertz is and times against United at the weekend, I just could not see where we're going. They're getting this triangle in the corner, and I just can't see where it's coming from. Jesus in the box. Oh, come on. You know what I mean? Saka at the back. Oh, come on. I want to try and get Zed on it. Maybe he's not that player, but I think it's you know what I mean? That's why I want to give him a chance, because I want to see some height up. In answer to your question, what striker are we bringing in terms of Eddie, who's an England international right now? Hats off to Eddie Nketiah. But you know, we've got quality at backup. We've got an England international. Do we need to strengthen in that area?
Yes.
All right, Alfie.
Yes, because with that money you could have bought someone. Yes.
Ivan Toney in January, I reckon.
Yeah, no, it's 3 years and we're still looking for Havertz's position. It's like, yeah, we don't know. We don't know. Maybe he finds it one day. I don't know.
I mean, we've also got to bear in mind, see, we've not got a Sheikh behind us or anyone like that. We've got owners that are willing to spend, but they're not spending the massive money. So some like Pepe are going for free so that we can get them wage bills down and maybe get someone in January. You know, there's a couple of decisions over this transfer window that we all kind of went, Tony coming in January, get the wages down, get them out, and possibly, you know, but I'm just gonna say.
But this is what I was trying to say when Arteta is a little bit stubborn. Like, you got Trossard there. Every time that the guy comes in, he scores, he creates, he does everything. Why are you insisting with Havertz? I mean, the guy's gonna take time. Yeah, put him on the on the less important games for the moment while he adapts. But no, he has too much pressure. We have to take him out for his own sake at the end of the day.
But if he's come out, I don't know if anybody saw that he's come out today, and he's basically said, I hear up and downs in my career before, and I know I'm going to come back from this, which is great. But so if he comes out, is his head going to drop? I need to trust in I think so we trust.
I think if you drop him, the problem is I think he's got lack of confidence. Chelsea have slaughtered him. He's come to Arsenal. He's adjusting to the system. He's not as confident as what he was. You drop him again, that's it. You've slaughtered him. Same as like what they done to that Lokonga. Will he get that confidence back? Why have you dropped me?
Yeah, but he has done nothing to start. You build him from the bottom to the top, not from the top.
He shouldn't have just gone straight in, obviously. Well, I don't think so, but Arteta, he knows more than me, obviously. But
okay. Another thing
now, if you're just going to drop the lad, you've got a problem. That is, and it's going to be a big problem. But he has got selection headaches now, and like you say, they did win 3-1. And going back to that, right? I think Reece Nelson was a major player in that 3-1 win. When he came on, that team changed. I don't know what it was about him. They got a lot of space on that left wing, and they took advantage of it. And if they did, as I say, if they didn't get them goals, Havertz probably wouldn't be playing next game. Whether he is the next game, I couldn't tell you. Do you know what I mean? Because there is going to be a lot of
at the moment, he's not costing us games, but the Man United goal was his fault. And when we start drawing or losing games because of that, all the pressure is going to be there.
All that blaming players, I don't agree with that. Saka, he gave a goal away he just blatantly gave a goal away the other day, and first minute, wasn't it? I can't remember who it was against, but now if that was Havertz, he wouldn't be playing again. That's it. Saka's got a bit of luxury, a bit of time because he's an established player. Do you know what I mean? Havertz not established. He's got to prove everything. he got us a penalty. That was a blatant penalty in my eyes. What he got, So he is there creating chances. Until he gets one, he's going to be struggling because we've got a certain section of fans, and I think being a Chelsea player, it's hard to fit into that Arsenal thing because we don't like Chelsea anyway. Do you know what I mean? So you've got to prove yourself double as a Chelsea player coming to Arsenal. So I don't know. I don't know with Havertz. So I have to say you've got to stick with him because otherwise, what's the point? You've started him, you've got to finish it.
Well, you've got 65 million. Why you need to stick with him? Go on, Rob.
Yeah, sometimes you just can't look at the figures. I don't know why it was 65 million. I don't know. He scored one goal in the Champions League final, didn't he?
Well, to be fair, I don't 105 million in terms of what a football player should be. So, them valuations, I mean, come on. He's not worth that. Let's face it.
No.
But, I mean, on to have a drop him, you're going to say we drop him for Everton, PSV, Brentford, Bournemouth, and then we'll bring him back for Chelsea? Shouldn't we be keeping him in the squad for potentially giving him chances? Let's get him on against Brentford in the Carabao and mix it up there, but definitely have him on for Everton. But Bournemouth, after them 3 games. And let's see how he does it with Germany as well, because he is somewhat settled with. He's played with them a bit before. So hopefully a bit of confidence this.
Well, that's it. He's a German international. He ain't a muck, you know what I mean? He can clearly play football. And according to some Arsenal fans, you'd think he'd just come straight out of a Saturday League team.
I mean, let's think about it. Saka gave away a goal. Are we dropping him? No.
No, because Saka will score. That's the difference. And you have to see the difference. It's like, no, we don't drop Saka for mistakes because you know that Saka can score a winner. But Havertz, can he score the winner? No. That's what
he clearly can. He won Chelsea the final in the Champions League, didn't he? But,
yes, but also Giroud against us, and he was rubbish with us.
You got to give these blokes time. Go back to Dennis Bergkamp and Omri. They didn't fit straight in the team. I'm telling you.
It's true.
Arsenal got selective memory. It took them time to adjust to the squad, and he's just tinkered about it straight away. No one knows what he was doing. Let's be honest. None of us fans thought, what the hell is Arteta doing at the beginning of the season? And now beat Man United, everyone's back cheering him on. Yeah, go on, Arteta. You know what you're doing. We're very fickle fans. I think if you start getting on players' backs, that's just bad news, personally.
Yeah. Well, people, we've actually come to an end. I know Rob wanted to say
okay, mate.
Something. Go on, Rob. Go for it,
Rob. We're talking. I mean, and I'm the first to admit I've got a United game, but 88 minutes, I had my head in my hands, going, "What? We're you know what I mean? We're losing 2-1 at home to a United team that." So yes, we came away with a good result, but and we stuck with it, so we deserved it, but it wasn't a bread and butter performance driven.
It wasn't, but like we could tell that we were gonna win that game. I was watching it. I told my mate, "We're winning this. We're not losing to this United team."
But I mean, come on, Leicester defense.
United are living off their name. They're not really United of old. You know what I mean? Yeah, they're not Fergie's United. They ain't nothing special.
Yeah. That's long gone. Well, again, guys, this is the end of the first Easy Talk, the first in 2 months. That's a marriage, don't you know? But do you know what? It's been really, really good. Kind of eased me back into the routine of doing the Friday nights on the Easy Talk. But Rob, I'm gonna say, do you know what? Can you come back again, Rob?
Rob.
Come back again. And before we go, can I give a shout out to the Champions League this week? Nice 2-0 win. They're going to be playing on game. It's free to watch on the Arsenal app. Tune in, give them some support, guys. Love to come whenever you'll have me back, mate. It's been a fantastic time.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Nice one, Rob. And John the Geezer.
89, mate. 89. That's all I've got to say. Those Liverpool supporters out there. 89, mate. 1 minute.
There's a few
there.
Yeah,
I can see that. Good luck to them. And we're going to win the title this year. Good baby, there's a place on earth, and it's Kai Havertz.
Cheeky Chappy Alfie. Good to see you back, man.
Thank you. It's been a while. I think I'm gonna go back to a couple of games this year as well, so maybe we can see each other. Always a pleasure to be here, and always a pleasure to argue.
Thank you to argue. Or rant or ramble. There was no rambling, Rob.
Alex, he's going to be a Havertz fan this season by the end of it. Same as you was a legend.
Never say never. I love people to prove me wrong.
I'm going to convert you. You and Colin, I'm converting you, man.
All right, just read this last comment here, actually from Colin, because I've just seen Colin, one of our long-term subscribers, is hope and reality need to be spread appropriately. Havertz should train at London Coney. Not sure about that. Players' performance should be on the match day pitch. Am I banned? No, you're not banned.
Not
you're
yet.
Not banned. We don't. No, not yet.
We're on the Kool-Aid tonight, Colin, mate.
So that is it. I will be back on Monday evening, because I'm back at my work placement. But listen, guys, again, it's been a pleasure to get back into the routine on the first Easy Talk in 2 months. That's a marriage, don't you know? And I've never, ever missed a party. Just Thomas Party. But guys, thank you very much. And we shall see you guys in a few days' time on Monday. And this has been Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world. Come on, you guys.